Let's start with a tour of our Power Sort box. So this box is made of a hard plastic material, but it's still got some give to it. This is photo safe, lignin free, acid free. There's a spot on the front where you can label. You can either drop in a pre-formed label or maybe decorate something and make it pretty. The lid obviously has the Creative Memories logo on it and also has these bungee cords on the sides. The bungee cords are used to adhere the lid to the box itself. So if we undo those bungee cords, the lid comes off, and it's not just a lid, it has some storage functions of its own. It's got a nice pocket here so that you can fit oversized memorabilia or maybe photos that you haven't sorted yet right inside the lid. Now this little piece can tuck in to help keep all of those photos from popping out of that pocket. When you're not using the lid, it fits nicely as a nesting box for the box itself. On the inside of the box, we have 6 compartments. These compartments are made of the same photo-safe material, acid-free and lignin-free, so it's completely safe to store all of your photos in. Each of the 6 containers can hold up to 200 photos that are 4x6 or 5x7 or smaller. So 200 times 6, this box can hold 1,200 photos. That's a 1, a 2, followed by 2 zeros. 1,200 photos in this box. You can use these containers to sort of subdivide by subject matter or year or whatever else. Each box also comes with 6 additional dividers that you can use to subdivide within a section. Here I'm using the Power Sort box for its original intention. This is slam full of photos and maybe even a couple cards here and there. You can see that I'm using some of the extra dividers that are included to help divide even from within the categories here. I've got 4x6s, some 5x7s. I've even got some of the old, what size are these? Like 3x5s? No, 3x4s? I'm not even sure the size of some of these photos, but I fit a wide variety all in one box. One of my favorite uses for the Power Sort box is using it to organize all of the cards I made. It's super easy to categorize them using the different inserts, and then when I need to send a card, I'm able to pull the box, figure out which insert it's in, and address and go. So in this one, for example, I've got missing you a latte, just a little note. So these ones are just sort of like general cards to say hello. These are all cards that I've made either digitally or even traditionally using our card kits. So I've got a section of cards that I made just for my daughter to send to her grandparents and her friends. I've got leftover Christmas cards ready to go. I've got my thank you cards ready to go. And the nice thing is when I have them organized this way by section, I can sort of at a glance know, my thank you card section is getting pretty thin. It's probably time I make some more of those, whip some of those up, run to the store. Whatever it is that you use to make cards, this is the perfect way to keep them organized. And of course, since I use the Power Sort box to organize all of my cards, homemade, store-bought, digitally ordered, and otherwise, I found that I was accumulating a lot of envelopes in different sizes and colors. So instead of cramming them into the box with their cards, I actually have an entire separate box just for envelopes. I know that sounds a little extra, but it has opened up space in my card box so that I can thumb through a little better and find what I want. So here on the back, you can see I have my card envelopes from the Creative Memories card kits. These are the ones that were either extra or designed. They're very easy to identify. And then in this section, I had the plain white envelopes. And in this section, I had the envelopes that had the different designs. This way I can easily mix and match and find the ones I want to go with the cards that I've designed. I also have the oversized envelopes here for 5x7 cards and cards here for 4x6. So I just like being able to find the envelope I want at my fingertips, as well as not crowding my card designs so I can easily flip through them. The Power Sort box is also a great place to store and sort your mat packs. So full unopened mat packs fit in here quite nicely, but if you also wanted to open those up and categorize them better, those fit in here as well. So for instance, this little section I'm using for all of my green and blue mat packs, or all my green and blue mats. So if I know I need to search by color, I know exactly where to find them. Maybe you don't want to divide by color, but you want to divide by type of mat. So in this section, I have all of my journaling boxes, my journaling cards in different sizes, the 4x6, the 4.5 by 6.5, and even the duos. You can also divide by what I call like decorative placeholders. So these are your mats that have words and arts on them that you can use to serve as a decorative placeholder on your scrapbook page. If you didn't want to subdivide based on type, you could also divide by theme. So here in this one, I've got all my birthday, all my celebration mat packs here. My next use for the Power Sort box is to organize some of our relics from the past. So who remembers the camera with the drop-in film? So I was obsessed with this sort of camera I had. It's what I used to shoot all of my stuff at camp, but all of the negatives are actually still encased in this little housing unit. So I've got all of my old negatives and the contact sheets that show me what's on those negatives stored away in a box if I ever need to gain access to them again. I've got old pictures on CDs and backups on CDs. Here I have my external hard drive for backing up my photos from my computer. And I've also got some other tech odds and ends, like my ring light and my USB extender. Just all sorts of little things that I don't maybe need all the time, but they need to have a specific time and place. So that's what I use my Power Sort for. Here's a sort of unique use for our Power Sort boxes. I'm actually using them as memory boxes for each of my girls. So these are sort of favorite memories from my daughter's first year or two, things that wouldn't necessarily fit in a scrapbook. So for example, this was my favorite outfit that she wore. It was just this little cow sleeper onesie. I'm not going to be able to get this into my scrapbook, but I want to save it forever. I want to pass it down to her. I want her to know what one of my favorite outfits was. So I have that tucked away into the box, and the little matching hat that went with it. Also things like airline stubs from her first flight, the little rattle that she used. That's not going to fit into a scrapbook. Here are the hospital bracelets from when she was born. Also, the little hat she was born, or not born in, the little hat they put on her in the hospital, and the first little onesie she wore. I've also got CDs of her newborn photos and cards from my baby shower and our invitations. And then here are cards from her first birthday and when she was born, and then this little cute paper album that I had made for her. I just love that all of these little precious memories fit right into this box, and I can keep them all together. And one thing we hadn't really discussed was the lid. The lids here also have space for storage. So here I've got things that aren't going to fit nicely into the bins. I've got her baby birth announcement, some oversized cards, and then some other odds and ends that didn't fit in any of the other categories, like tickets to her first baseball game. Now some of these might be added to her album eventually, or maybe they're in her album already and these are extras, but it's just a nice place to keep that sort of oversized memorabilia.